Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much to Mayor Christopher Clark and to Dixmoor Mayor Robert Fitzgerald, to Senator Napoleon Harris, Representative Will Davis, and Representative Bob Rita. Thank you all for joining us today. This gathering comes off an exciting summer that's filled with infrastructure projects here in the south suburbs. Just Tuesday, we announced the I-94, I-57 Interchange ramps in the Southland were completed 2 years ahead of schedule, and that deserves a big round of applause. Last month, I announced the largest investment in our roads and bridges to date, including nearly $250 million right here in the south suburbs. In May, we broke ground on the new and accessible 147th Street Metro station in Harvey, and we awarded a historic $51 million to South Suburban College in South Holland to build the Allied Health and Nursing Center to train the next generation of healthcare professionals. It's the kind of change that South Suburban residents might not have thought possible 5 years ago. But we got together and we made it possible. It's all part of the work that Representatives Rita and Davis did on the bipartisan Rebuild Illinois infrastructure plan, the largest such investment in state history. The renovation of nearly 4,500 miles of highway and over 400 bridges has already been completed. We've added buildings and programs to community colleges, brought new life to state parks, expanded our river ports, and brought digital access to where there was none. And I want to especially call out and shout out to the mayors that are here today and the mayors across the south suburbs who make their voices heard. We listen to them. When they say they need something in their communities, we respond. And I'm very proud of working with the members of the General Assembly that are here across the Senate and the House and their responsiveness and our work together to deliver. In Illinois, infrastructure is really just a word for opportunity. By investing in it, we open doors for our residents, and virtually everyone who calls this state home can see and feel the results in real time. Today, we're kicking off our next investment in the south suburbs, and it gets right at the heart of a major throughway for this community, Wood Street and Ashland Avenue. The original roadway was built almost 100 years ago, and that same old road is still there. It's been resurfaced on occasion throughout the years, but the original pavement has never been reconstructed. This $94 million project will pull the drive into the 21st century, adding lanes on both sides to reduce traffic, providing a new storm sewer system and light system, improving the railroad crossings, and adding pedestrian and bicyclist considerations throughout. Partial access to the roadway will remain available throughout the entirety of the remaining construction through the summer of 2025. This isn't just an investment in our infrastructure, it's an investment in our communities. Communities like Dixmoor, Riverdale, and right here in Harvey. The south suburbs are on the move, and I'm really happy to say that I couldn't be more excited about it. I hope you all are seeing the difference. It is certainly happening before our very eyes, and I'm excited to see the final results as they appear and provide people with the kind of infrastructure that they need and want. So with that, I'm very pleased to turn it over to one of the best secretaries of the Department of Transportation that our state's ever had, and a groundbreaking secretary at that, Omer Osman. Omer?
Good morning, everyone. And Governor, thank you very much for your kind word. And Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for hosting us here today. At the department, we are looking forward to starting this project. And we have a great team, some of whom are here today, that work diligently on doing the set of plans, which is the phase 1, phase 2, and now we are about to embark on construction. That team is led by Jose Rios, who is the Region 1 engineer who's in the back there. Jose, thank you for leading a great team, and thank you to your staff for helping with the setup here. Thank you. A couple of names, they might not be here, is Sam Rayan, who is the project engineer. Jonathan Schumacher, he is here too, right there. He is the Bureau Chief of Construction. Eric Ray, I don't think he was able to make it. He's the area construction supervisor. But the person whom you guys going to live with for the next couple of years is Aileen Tate. She is the resident engineer on this project. So she's going to be here day in, day out. And I was talking to her earlier. I said, okay, you're going to be a good neighbor. She said, I am a good neighbor. She is actually from Harvey. So thank you, Aileen. But helping Aileen and helping Jose is two of the premier African-American consultants that I had the pleasure of working with. One of them is not here, infrastructure engineering. They did the design for this project. But then there is this other team of Ardmore Roderick, who is going to be helping Aileen with this project, and you're going to see a lot of their staff here, and some of them are here already, and Rashad, thank you for joining us today. I would like to also thank the South Suburban College students who are right here, and his staff who are with us today. They are participating in our Highway Construction Career Training Program, HCCTP. This project is going to give these students a leg up on getting the experience they need to begin a lifelong career in the construction trades. I applaud your commitment to learning and making your community a better place. Wood Street and Ashland Avenue were built, just like the governor said, in 1930, but never reconstructed. The original pavement is still serving at the roadway base in some location. Yes, you heard that right. The project is going to modernize an infrastructure that is almost 100-year-old. When we are finished, more than 3 miles between 138th Street and 161st Street will be completely rebuilt. The new and improved design will move traffic much more efficiently and safely. The project will also add new lighting, modernized traffic signals, smoother and safer railroad crossing, as well as landscaping and aesthetic enhancement. The bridge over the Little Calumet River will be rehabbed, and bicycle and pedestrian accommodation will be added throughout the entire corridor. Also, a new storm sewer system will address the long-time drainage and flooding concern in this general area. Of course, none of this would be possible without Rebuild Illinois, RBI, the capital program passed by the General Assembly and signed by the governor in 2019. Rebuild Illinois is the largest and first truly multimodal capital program in the state history. First truly multimodal capital program in the state history. 3 years after it passed, we have major projects completed or coming to life in every corner of the state. Lastly, I would like to remind the public, this is going to be an active work zone for the next 2 years, at least next 2 years. Please be patient. Slow down when you approach and drive through work zones. Put down the devices and keep your eyes on the road. I do honestly look forward to coming back here and cutting our ribbon in a couple of years. Please pardon our dust while we rebuild Illinois. Thank you. And with that, I'll do have the pleasure of introducing a true infrastructure champion, Senator Harris.
Good morning. Come on, we're not at a funeral, we're at a celebration. Good morning. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to you guys for showing up and participating in this momentous ceremony. To our great governor, Governor J.B. Pritzker of the great state of Illinois, give him another round of applause, please. And to my colleagues, Representative Davis, Representative Rita, and to the mayors, Mayor Clark and Mayor Roberts, who are here today, and to all the mayors of the Southland who advocated, who fought for, who came to the office to visit, who really nudged us to make sure that we were all on the same page in fighting for resources back to the Southland. I'd also like to thank Ms. Rebecca Garcia, who's here with us today from South Suburban College. It seems like many moons ago when we first discussed the work construction plan that was at South Suburban College, and putting that into fruition and actually making it work brings joy and delight to my heart to see those young men and women go through that process and actually go and get gainful employment through the trades and working with IDOT. Also, thank you to Director Osmond. He's been a tremendous advocate and tremendous help for not only here in the 15th District, but throughout the Southland. So thank you as well. Whether it's paving our streets, improving our lighting, building buildings, or just improving our overall safety and infrastructure within our communities, this infrastructure plan helps build communities while building an equitable transportation system for all. All of our streets are crucial in this link to our neighborhoods, and that is why I supported the act down in Springfield, and that is why we're here today. This is importantly special for me because I grew up right here on Wood Street, 14223 Wood Street in Dixmoor, Illinois. I lived there pretty much half of my life until I went to college. And when I came back, I still lived there for quite some time afterwards. So for me, walking up and down Wood Street is important. It holds a sentimental value in my heart. And I'm thankful that this governor and this General Assembly had the fortitude to push forward and to invest in our community so that the next generation will have a more equitable future. So thank you, Governor Pritzker, and to my colleagues for making the strong investment into our communities and building a better Southland. So without further ado, like I said, I wasn't going to be here long. I'm going to bring up a colleague and friend to have remarks, Representative Bob Rita.
Thank you, Senator Harris. I'm very proud to stand here with Governor Pritzker, my colleague in the House, Representative Davis, and the local mayors. Not only is this helping the village or city of Harvey, this stretch of investment goes from Blue Island, Riverdale, Dixmoor, Harvey. When you look at the Southland and you look at what we have here with the roadways, the railways, transportation is a key here for the South Suburbs. And I'm very proud to stand with the governor, my colleagues, the mayors, of an investment that we're making into the South Suburbs, a much needed investment. You know, we go down to Springfield to fight for our communities, but when we fight together as a region, we all benefit. And this is a example of the benefits having us all working together for a common goal. And not only is it going to help when you have an investment into roadways, but it also shows everyone the investment in the business community, our constituents, everybody that uses this, not only for a public safety, but on an economic development standpoint. When they mentioned that I-57 294, the governor earlier, about the completion, or very short to the completion of opening them ramps, that is going to open up this entire Southland for transportation needs in the South Suburbs. So I'm projecting, it has been projected, that we're going to see a lot more development in the Southland due to these investments that we're making. Now I'd like to bring up my colleague, who we came into the House together, who represents this district, State Representative Will Davis.
Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you how pleased and honored I am to be here to see this project come to fruition. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my colleagues, Senator Harris, Representative Rita, of course to Mayors Clark and Roberts standing, and of course to Governor Pritzker. With his leadership, we passed a monumental infrastructure bill a few years ago, the largest in state history, to do things just like what we're here to celebrate today. So again, I am Will Davis. I represent the 30th District, and we, of course, are in the 30th District. I have a similar story like Senator Harris, who grew up on Wood Street, but if I could hit a golf ball to the other side of that strip mall on an angle here, you would hit the top of the house that I grew up in here in Harvey on 158th Place. So to see this project come to fruition certainly does my heart good, and I'm sure if my parents were here living today, they would love to see it happen as well. What started probably back in 2008, 2009 is culminating today. I remember when a previous Secretary of Transportation, we cut the ribbon on 159th Street with its complete reconstruction and the bridge reconstruction at Park Avenue. At that time, it was a woman named Diane O'Keefe, and I asked her if she could give me another 30 minutes of her time. And after we cut the ribbon on that, I put her in my car and I drove her to Wood Street and said, this road needs what we just did on 159th Street. I explained to her about the traffic concerns. I explained to her about the flooding that takes place there. And she welcomed the opportunity to then go back to her team at IDOT and say, is there something that we can do here? And because of her efforts, we started the process to ultimately reconstruct Wood Street. And we're happy that under this administration, the dollars are there, the dollars have been made available so that we can actually see that project come to fruition. We've got great partners along Wood Street here through the communities, and one that I definitely want to make sure we highlight is the University of Chicago Ingalls Hospital. The Vice President for Development, Paul Donahue, is here. I'm happy to have him here, and they have some ideas about ways that they can help invest in the Wood Street corridor as well. We have legislation that we are trying to pass to create a medical district that includes Ingalls Hospital, Family Christian Health Center, which is our FQHC out in this area, as well as Children's Habilitation Center, which is a very unique facility for medically complex children. It's a residence for them as well. So all of this is ultimately coming together. So again, I'm very happy to see the culmination of all this work, to see the investment, obviously, with the students here at South Suburban College who are from this area, who now get a chance to invest and to tell their families, look what I did here in this community. And of course, I want to make sure that I acknowledge Eileen, young lady who grew up in this community working for IDOT and now has the opportunity to be impactful in the community that raised her just like it raised me. So we're all very excited for this. And Governor, we can't thank you enough for prioritizing this project and making this project a reality. We know that there are many other needs here in the state of Illinois, but we're certainly happy that you acknowledged this project and gave IDOT the opportunity to move this one forward. It's a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. The governor mentioned almost $100 million total having gone into this project. And there aren't very many communities that see this level of investment, not only with Wood Street, the metro station that the governor has already mentioned. There's another metro station in downtown Harvey that hopes to get some investment very soon. And Representative Rita talked about the I-294, I-57 Interchange, which if you got on 159th Street and just drove a very short way, you would be able to begin to access that interchange. It is going to be a tremendous help to the development of these communities. These are communities that have suffered for very long with disinvestment. Nobody wanted to come to these communities. Nobody wanted to invest in these communities. And many will say, and I agree, that the roadways, how the roadways look, are a sign of what's to come in a community. So when you are investing in its roadway infrastructure, major reconstruction of Wood Street, major reconstruction of 159th Street, a lot of these trucks that you see here, you know, they would sit at Park Avenue upwards of 4 or 5 light cycles to get through until that bridge was reconstructed to make 2 lanes that allowed for truck and car traffic to go through very quickly. So a lot of that is happening, and we're very excited about everything that is happening here in the city of Harvey. Of course, do we want it all? We do want it all, and we hope that we will continue to advocate and provide the reasons and the rationale for continuing investment here in the city of Harvey, the village of Dixmoor, the village of Riverdale, and the city of Blue Island, all throughout this corridor. Many, many years ago, Wood Street going south was reconstructed through Markham. So it's now time for that reconstruction to continue north through Harvey, Dixmoor, Riverdale, and ending in Blue Island. So we're very excited for this. We're very happy to be here today. And again, looking forward, as the Secretary said, to coming back and cutting a ribbon to see the work and the advocacy, the blood, the sweat, the tears, if you will, particularly for those residents that have endured a very bad road for a very long time. When it rains, it floods. There's no question about that because there's no sewer infrastructure along that street. But now you have the opportunity for that, for curbs, for sidewalks, a lot of things that don't exist there. And if you've never seen it before you leave Harvey, I just encourage you to take a ride down Wood Street so you can see what we're up against. But in a couple years, hopefully you'll come back and you'll see what the end result is. And so we're, again, happy to be here today to share in the joy of this project. And again, thank you, Governor Pritzker, for your foresight in passing the biggest capital bill in Illinois history that we all had a chance to support and to vote for. And this is what happens when we all work together. Good things happen, and we're proud that a good thing is happening here, not only in the South Suburban region, but specifically here in the city of Harvey, Village of Dixmoor, Riverdale, and the city of Blue Island as well. So again, thank you very much, Governor. And since I've had the easy part, I guess I invite you back up for the tough part for the Q&A from members of the press. So again, thank you very much for being here. I bring back Governor Pritzker.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative Davis. Happy to take questions from members of the media. This is part of Rebuild Illinois, so it's a state-funded project.
I have a couple off-topic questions, if you could. Obviously, another busload of migrants came into Chicago last night. Has your office reached out to Governor Abbott's office to see what, if anything, can be done, coordinated? And do you expect these buses will continue for some time, maybe to the election?
At the staff level, our staffs have been in contact with one another, but they have been wholly uncooperative in Texas. They are trying to sow chaos around the country, not just here in Chicago. And as you've heard, the mayor also has, had words about this. And I will just say that we're going to do everything we can to care for these are refugees and asylum seekers, who are escaping their homes to come to the United States of America. And it shouldn't be that the governor of Texas is essentially taking these people, treating them like chattel, treating them like property, putting them on buses, sending them wherever he wants to send them. It should be the choice of people who come to this country, and of course the United States government should be managing that. And I guess I'll just say, if they're coming to Illinois, we're a welcoming state. We're going to make sure that they have a place to live. We're going to make sure that they are able to get fed and get health care. But what's happening, what the governor of Texas is doing is disgusting, and it needs to stop. But again, when people arrive here, we're going to care for them.
Do you expect, because this has been called political on his part, do you expect this could continue all the way up until the November election as he's trying to make a point?
Well, it certainly could. He sent thousands of migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers to Washington, D.C. He sent thousands to New York. Now he's chosen Chicago. And we'll, like I said, we'll do what we need to do to make sure that they get the care they need.
I did also want to ask you about these Dan Prof publications that are going out all in the suburbs. One actually ended up in my mail the other day.
You're on their mailing list?
Resident, our current resident. So
I was kidding.
Fair shot. What do you believe is behind this whole messaging and effort?
Well, first of all, this is a messaging that's coming from a racist political consultant who used to associate himself with Illinois, now lives in Florida. And he's, sending messages that are, if you look at what he's printed, it's clearly all about the idea that, what he's printing, that black people are threatening your way of life. That's essentially what he's putting in these publications. It's a scare tactic. It's meant to have people, concerned for their safety. And the truth of the matter is that what he's purveying here is complete hogwash. I'm probably being polite when I say that. It's disgusting. It's a terrible thing to do. We're seeing it more and more in American politics, and unfortunately we hadn't seen it as much in Illinois until this guy, Dan Proft. I think it's missing an I, because it's really all about profit for him. But that's what he does. And frankly, he's doing it on behalf of Darren Bailey. And that says as much as you need to know about Darren Bailey.
With the DNC this weekend, I understand you are not going to that. Are you concerned at all about how the competition is going, and why are you not going to be a part of this?
This is the best city in America to hold a Democratic convention. There's no doubt about it. The city of Chicago, and it will be a great thing when it comes here. I think that President Biden knows that Illinois is a state and Chicago is a city that has really built back better, and that we're investing in the things that really matter for Americans, lifting up working people across the state. And so we're excited about the fact that, we are, I think, in a great position to win this convention. We'll hear about it after the election. But look, we're going to fight. There are 4 cities that are being considered. We're the best of those cities by far. And so I'm looking forward to, the news after the elections.
You need to go be part of the pitch?
Oh, trust me, we are making every pitch every day that we need to make. We're answering questions that they may put forward. But I think you know, and everybody here knows, and I think the DNC now knows, that Chicago is fully prepared to handle the tens of thousands of people that will come for the Democratic Convention, and to show off what's great about Democrats and what's great about this president. Thank you.